So let's start out with the biological when we're looking at the biopsychosocial model. So who is Trey? Trey is a man. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall. He's actually bald. See, no hair there. Okay? These are all biological traits that Trey happens to have. When we're talking about the psychological, we're talking about two key components. The first is the cognitive side, which is how we think, which is why I've drawn a brain. The second is the emotional side, which is why Trey here is really happy. Trey happens to be a pretty happy person. He also happens to think a certain way. How he thinks and the emotions he feels affects his development. Now when we look at the social or the social cultural components, we have Trey kind of at the center here. As he look at his outer things, maybe we have his family, we have his friends. These have an influence on him. Expand a little further, we know that he grew up in Wisconsin, which maybe makes him a Badger fan. We know that, in his community that certain aspects were important. We can expand even further, and we can look at the media he grew up in. We can look at the school system he was in. All of these things influence Trey and who he is today. So once again, the biopsychosocial model looks at a few things. First, the biological, who is Trey? The psychological, which we said is how he thinks and the emotions he feels. And the social or the cultural, which is those concentric circles of influence on us, things in our lives that have strong social and cultural effects on who we are and how we act. All three of these components influence us and interact with one another to make us who we are today.